We are trying to help you find the right dog for your lifestyle. Take time to research all the different breeds, all the different sizes, so you find the right best friend before you jump in. Please do me and you and your future dog that favor. Today, little dogs. I'm going to admit, I don't have any little dogs. I have a lot of kids and I have had medium-sized dogs, so no little dog to hold today. Lots of little dogs in my extended family, and I have a lot of experience with little dogs. They're absolutely adorable. Bree Slade here. We're in the doghouse. We're going to talk to you about finding the right dog for your lifestyle. Little dogs are your lap dogs. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. My mother-in-law and my mom love little dogs, especially later in life. As we age, sometimes I think we just naturally downsize. Per the AKC, they're more popular, more registrations for those little dogs. But we carry them around. Of course we do, because they're so stinking cute, and we kiss them all the time and we treat them like babies. So they tend to have a lot of dominance issues, and sometimes they're not trained. I think people think they're harder to train, but I think you can definitely, I know you can train little dogs. Probably half of the small dogs I've trained have been little dogs. So I'm challenging you to make sure you train your little dog, even though we treat them like babies and carry them around because they're so tiny and we don't want them hurt. Train, 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 train. They have smaller stuff. They have smaller beds, they have smaller crates, it's easier to carry their stuff. So as we get to a point in our life that we want to carry smaller things, it's just easier if we have a little dog. They're very, 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 very loving. So they tend to cost less. It's a little less to groom them, it's less to board them, it's a little less at the vets. They tend to cost less. So that's a good thing. And they live longer, so you get a lot more years out of a little dog. But they're very fragile. They're fragile. They can be hurt by other dogs, your own or your friends, but they also could be hurt by you or me by mistake, and by children. So we have to watch because they're so little. So we just need to make sure that we're keeping them safe. They can be like your little hot water bottle, because remember, dog's temperature goes up to 102.5 normally, and you can have them by you in bed and on the couch, and they just feel so warm. And people have through years had small dogs as hot water bottles. They travel great. If you travel in a plane a lot and you want your dog to go everywhere with you, absolutely, a little dog is for you. They're very alert and they bark and make you aware that somebody's coming, but they do tend to bark a little bit more. So sometimes condo living or apartment living, we just need to work with them on that little bark. Lots of teeth care, very important. I can't tell you how many little dogs I've seen later in life that have no teeth. So we really need to be brushing those teeth. Try to be mindful of diet and keep them on crunchy food just as long as you can, or get them toys that are really, really good for teeth. Mind their teeth. I'm not sure if it's because they live so much longer, or it's just that they're little tiny dogs and maybe we don't want to push them through brushing their teeth, but we've got to take great teeth care. Things that run in little dogs, often trachea concerns, so maybe more harnesses than collars might be a little bit better idea. Some breeds are very prone to collapsed tracheas. Might want to look into that, like Yorkies and things, some breeds. Knees. So if a little dog's holding up the back leg, could be a bad knee. They tend to slide in, slide out. You want to make sure you get a little dog, if you're getting a purebred, that's had some knees looked at and that testing done. And then also sometimes they have low sugar. And they can, if they have low sugar, they can fall right over and collapse, and they can get low sugar a lot easier, low glycemic index, a lot quicker than a bigger dog. So sometimes it's good to make sure they eat lots of small meals because they're just a little tiny dog. Potty training can be a little bit harder because the house is so big. But if you want your dog to go potty on the inside of the house, like pee-pee pads or litter box training your dog, they do that great. So we can work on those things. Being realistic with how often they have to go potty, because their bladder is so tiny that sometimes I think taking them out so many times a day, it's just easier to train them to go somewhere in the house. Don't buy a dog on an impulse. Please, please, please do your research. We've talked about big dogs. We've talked about little dogs. We're going to move into some of our big groups next. Let's talk about herding or hound, things like that. We're partnering with you so that you find the right dog. I'm Bree. We're in the doghouse. Thank you so much for following along. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.